The DJI Osmo Nano camera. I know you've been watching loads of videos on YouTube just to try and work out if this thing is right for you, but can you actually use this thing for actual vlogging? It's all very well saying, you know, giving specs and things. I use DJI Action 2 all the time and I absolutely love that camera, having it clipped to my chest. That is why I wanted this. It's the DJI Osmo Nano. Is it better than the Action 2? Is it better than my DJI Pocket 3, which I love? And that's what you're seeing right now. So if you can see this in shots, that's the DJI Pocket 3, if you want to compare the footage of the two cameras. What I've done, I've come to the epicenter of YouTube in the UK, which is here, it's Brighton. Honestly, I can't throw this camera and not hit a YouTuber. They're everywhere. So I thought I'd come here. It's like the spiritual home of content creation, even though they seem to leave after a year or two. But I thought, well, this is the place to try my vlogging. I do have a vlogging channel as well, the Dad Delivers vlog. So I'm not a camera reviewer. I won't give you any specs because I have difficulty with what they mean. I just want to know if this works out of the box. But I do have 2 or 3 other channels that I shoot a lot of vlogging material for. And while I love the DJI Pocket 3, what I need is something rugged and something that where my heart doesn't do a somersault every time I drop it, and I do drop it a lot. I am going to give you as much footage as possible on this, the DJI Osmo Nano. I'm going to try it with different settings. We're going to try out the time-lapse and the hyperlapse. I still don't know the difference between the two. And I'm going to try and show you some low lights situations like a shopping centre and coffee shop, just to give you as much footage as possible. So some of the footage is going to be really long and boring. I'll try to put as much information on screen as possible. Down in the description are all the time codes. If you want to jump ahead to see any particular type of footage from the DJI Nano, that's the place to go. Our day started on the train. This is us. So we're pulling into Havant and we had 1 minute to make a connection from our train over to the train to Brighton. Let me show you what it's like just holding the camera and running for a train that doesn't appear anyway.
I wish I had a push button.
So that was our train. We've made the connection. Just got to wait for our one to arrive now. So then we get to the bit where this comes into its own, which is wearing a camera. You can detach the monitor from the camera. You probably know this from the other videos. I've got the magnetic lanyard. If I tuck that into my pocket here, I can then stick the camera onto my coat and it sort of blends in, so long as I have the tape over the logo. But this is how I've been wearing it for the footage that you're about to see of me walking around Brighton. Oh. We'll try again. It's because we've got a rail card. We treat you like a fare dodger. Thank you. Thanks. So here we are in lovely Hove. I love this station. So you got a little view of the Victorian interior. I want to get into Brighton itself, but I also want to get onto the seafront. I'll tell you what, we could do a time warp. Should we do a time warp to the high street? I've not done one of those before. Here we go. That was a hyperlapse. I've just noticed on the screen, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little switch so you can just suddenly clonk into ×1. But all I've got to do is press this button and it goes back into hyperlapse. Look. Let's now go for a hyperlapse that's ×10. This is the difference between a ×5 and a ×10. We just missed the bus. I love how you can hit the ×1 button on this thing and just cut between the hyperlapse and something you want to talk about or point out, and then just carry on. So now I can jump back into hyperlapse. And this is what it's like on the DJI Nano. This is how the Nano looks when you're filming indoors in somewhere that's lit by bright LEDs. Usually the LEDs are a problem and they flicker, even though you've got anti-flicker on and you've set the camera. If you're in the UK, you need to set it to 25 frames per second, or you might be in a region where you need 30 frames per second. And you wanted to go into pull and bear, which I'd never heard of before. I thought it was called pulling bear, but it's pull and bear.
Pull and bear.
So I'm chest wearing like this. The camera's down here. I'm chest wearing it on. This is horizon balancing on D-Warp. And I'm just wandering aimlessly around the aisles looking at the keenly priced products. I'm going to go into IKEA now. It's a brand new IKEA that's just opened, and they are really funny about filming in Oxford Street. So I don't know what they'll be like here. I'll hide the camera as we walk through the door. What I have been doing is wearing the camera on here, so it kind of blends in with my coat, which is kind of nice. But let's see how much I can get in the IKEA store. Probably not much at all. There's your thing. Does it work?
Yeah, it does work.
Seems to be coping with the mad LEDs. So I'll just look around, see if we can cope with all kinds of light. And then you can cut it up and put it on some cheese.
That's great.
So that's what it's like filming in an IKEA. On the screen it looked like the lights could cope, that the camera could cope with the lights, with those different LED type indoor lights, which is really difficult for vloggers who shoot in stores and shoot indoors. And even better, I've not been told to stop filming yet, so maybe they're just used to it in Brighton. They just don't care. I know, I think they've got so many vloggers here in Brighton, but you know, they'll probably stop you if you don't have a camera. Now you probably know this already from all the videos that you've watched on YouTube, but just to quickly run you through why this thing is special, there are two things that are absolutely golden for me as a vlogger. The first is that it comes with a monitor screen, They call it a multifunctional vision dock. And the great thing with this is you just put the camera onto the multifunctional vision dock, and as if by magic, the screen springs to life. It also means that I can turn it around, so I can be filming myself like this, which is really handy that I can see myself, and I can also see the audio level from my microphone. I'll come on to that in a moment. But the special thing with this is that you can turn it round. So if I push the buttons in, I can turn the monitor around, push it back together again, and then I can then film like it's a conventional camera. Slight problem with that is if you've attached your microphone, your wireless microphone to this, you can't see the camera on the monitor if a microphone is attached and the camera is detached from the monitor. So if I turn my microphone off, now I've switched the microphone off, you should be able to hear how this camera sounds through the internal microphone, and I think it probably doesn't sound quite as good, but I think it's pretty good sound. But the great thing with turning off the microphone is if I detach the camera from the monitor, you can actually see what's on the camera from the detached monitor, which has been so useful when I was filming in the shops. And just have a handy monitor just to double check your framing, especially when you're wearing this thing. You can walk around and just have a quick check on the multifunctional vision dock monitor screen. The second great thing for vloggers is that you can attach a DJI wireless microphone to this. I've now plugged in my DJI Mic 2. This is how it sounds. Being able to attach a wireless microphone to an action camera, for me, it's really special. I think being able to hear myself properly, however far away this action camera is absolutely phenomenal. I've had action cameras in the past where I've tried to plug in microphones to action cameras in the past, and it's not ended well. So you're walking around with this really tiny compact device and you've just got all these cables hanging out of the side there, which doesn't help with the waterproofing. By the way, my daughter is on second camera. You're doing an absolutely brilliant job. I've got to ask you this though. Should I dunk my brand new camera in the sea? Should we do it? I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to do it.
Well, that's because of the fear that, well, it's going to die.
Should we do it? We've got to do it, haven't we? I've not seen one review. Just throw this in the sea.
Okay, make sure it doesn't like fall in, lose it out.
Oh yeah,
I will
yeah.
jump in.
And I've still got the wireless mic attached as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the protective cover off, because when I did this with the Action 2, what happened was that I kind of got seawater into the protective cover and I ended up getting salt crystals and it ruined the connection. You can stay there if you want. Honestly, it's like trying to get my dog Casper to go in the sea. I do not want to put this camera into the sea. It's time to do your thing, DJI Osmo Nano, and hopefully you'll be able to still hear me on the wireless microphone. I'm going to be such a wuss. I'll tell you what, I'll put it on the, we'll see how it goes, see if it gets washed out to sea. Will it? Whoa! Quick! I don't know how that looks. So this camera is waterproof to 10 meters. I think we did what, 2 centimeters there? And I didn't know if you could hear me. Now I've taken the wireless microphone off, I should be able to watch the footage on the monitor. So you can hear me now on the DJI Osmo Nano. This is the onboard microphone, it's the internal microphone, so that's a big one. I'm just worried it's just going to get taken out to sea. I've only just got the thing. Right, here we go. So it survived. I don't know how that sounded. I don't know if you can hear me now because the little microphone holes might be covered in seawater. This is horizon balancing, standard D-warp. Got some copyright music in the background, so I have to speak loudly and not stop talking. But this is what it's like indoors in a coffee shop. I tried to do some arty shots, but I'm actually having coffee with Gordon from Gordon Gets Coffee. I don't know if you've seen his YouTube channel, well worth a subscribe. But he's used to shooting in coffee shops.
No, now you need to lick the spoon. Put it in your mouth. Keep recording.
That is one of the things I forget. When you have a camera this size, you can start to put the camera into really odd places. I forgot to say, this thing is magnetic. So come over here, look, watch this. I can just stick it to a post like that. And you can get a groovy shot, so you can walk away and just walk past it. You know, there's vlogging shots. So I'll do one of those walk past vlogging shots. The battery life has been shorter than I thought it would be. The multifunctional vision dock, it goes down pretty quickly, which I guess isn't surprising because it is a big monitor screen, and I have had it on while doing those time lapses and hyperlapses. I'll put on screen now, just to give you an idea. I started the day at 100% on both, and at 3 o'clock it was down to 25% on the camera, 10% on the monitor screen vision dock. Obviously your mileage will vary depending on how much screen is on and how much time lapsing you do, but just give you an idea of how much footage I shot for how much battery percentage. This is Supernight. I don't know if you can see any difference, and I'll turn around so you get different lighting effects on my face. Whoa! And actually I'm standing under a lamppost that is automatically coming on and off. That doesn't help my Supernight test. I've filmed some more shots on Supernight of trains arriving at the station, trains arriving and leaving, just to give you an idea of what Supernight looks like with movement. Here's a comparison between the DJI Pocket 3 with no Supernight on and the DJI Osmo Nano with Supernight on. We've got lots of weird lighting going on because the lights are automatic. So when the train came in, it tripped off all of the street lights, the lamps. So this is the DJI Nano on Supernight mode, and the DJI Pocket 3 just with no Supernight on. I have tried to give you as much footage as possible on this. If you want a little review at the end, I absolutely love using this thing. I thought it might be a bit rubbish, and I thought it might be a bit big to wear. But having a camera that you can drop and use in really bad weather and just stick to things magnetically is so much fun. And I don't think the picture quality is quite as good as the DJI Pocket 3 that you're seeing right now. But I can put this camera in so many places, and it just feels really good being able to detach the screen and just hold it like this, and being able to vlog like this to camera and not have to stretch my arm out just to do it like this. It's really discreet. It doesn't draw attention to yourself when you're wearing it or even holding it. It just looks like you're talking to your hand. But what do you think? Is this something that might help you make more YouTube videos? That's the whole point of this channel. Say hi in the comments below. Tell me if you are thinking of getting a DJI Osmo Nano. I want my channel to help you make more YouTube videos. I think the world's a better place with more YouTube videos, and I really want to help you through that. So thank you for hitting the thumbs up or the subscribe button. It really helps me to keep this channel going. And right here is what YouTube knows you want to be watching next.